hoodie season. Back around, no more summer bounce, little squeeze out. Keep that indoors when we're throwing down. Oversized jumper with her underwear out.
And now, put on, baby. And now, put on, baby. And now, put on, baby. And now, coming out the ghetto, gotta go for it. All they really want is more of it. In a drop top Chevy on forever. Gotta rain that money, just pour in it. Gotta bring that money, pour it in. Bring that money, pour it in. Bring that money. Pour it in, I got a big gold bag and a bottle of gin. I'm a bad mama jammer, a bad mother. Shut your mouth, I'm about to put this down payment on the Benz. You ain't ever seen a G like me. Got a whole bunch of suckers wanna be like me. Got a whole bunch of haters can't see like me. A bunch of spectators like, what is he gonna be? Let's do it. How about we put on for a minute? I'm laid back alone. Enjoy the show. Tell them to bring the money, we'll enjoy the show. Put it off in the pool, I'm swimming for about an hour. Coming up the ghetto, gotta go for it. All they really want is more of it. In a drop top Chevy on forever. Gotta rain that money, just pour it in. Tell them bring that money, pour it in. 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 Well, I do this every day. I be hot on the throttle when I'm pursuing the cake. Man, I pay no attention to what these losers will say. It took you that long for something I could do in a day. Took you that long for something I could do in a week. Took you that long for something I could do in my sleep. I go so hard, and homie, I don't usually sleep. I hardly ever take a nap, I'm like an alien G. I got a vision, supervision, they unable to see. I'm the hero, superhero, they unable to be. You can't tell me what I am, you can't label me though. You can't tell me who I am, you unable to know. Yeah, boy, good. That boy good. All they really want is more of it. In a drop top Chevy on forever. Gotta rain that money, just pour in it. Gotta bring that money, pour it in. 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 Peter Piper picked a whole bunch of peppers. Anyway, I just came in this thing tryna be so clever. Anyway, bunch of lames in this game and they ain't on my level. Anyway, I'm about to cut off they lights when I pull this lever. Where I'm from, it's either you tuck a gun, you finish the fight or run, and every rapper's a done, but whatever. All I know is continue to grind, continue to push. Life be stressing, I pretend that I'm fine. It ain't fine, it's like a whole bunch of business, whole bunch of focus, like my partners gotta get it. They say that you can't do it, they don't know there ain't no limit. Every hour, every minute, I be on it, gotta get it, man. Coming out the ghetto, gotta go for it. All they really want is more of it.
Team matchup in the MOAC goes down tonight here in Bellville with both Shelby and Clear Fork trying to stay within a game of Ontario at the top of the league standings. It's an all-Richland County showdown from the Colt Corral coming at you next, and you can only find it right here on the OH Report.
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Guess who's back? Hey, Graham,
Grandpa. I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Welcome to beautiful Bellville, Ohio for the Spherion Mid Ohio pregame show. Alongside Ontario coach Greg Atkinson, I'm Brian Skowronski. And we got an interesting matchup tonight, G. Lady Colts and Whippets, both needing a win to keep their slim hopes alive in the MOAC, but definitely you love getting that Richland County matchup victory nevertheless.
We're talking about tournament draw right around the corner. You want to build a little confidence, have a little momentum as you're heading to the end of the year here. So we're at the home stretch.
And for these Lady Whippets, they have not been around very long, but they've been building a pretty nice varsity program for the last 3 years. Pretty competitive given their short amount of time that they've been around, Greg.
Talking to Coach Keith Switcher, he's gotten involved in the youth. Numbers are there, right, for a program 3 years in. Last I talked to him, 35 plus girls have a varsity, have a JV, building that foundation. And I think it's going to take some time, but Whippet Country always has athletes, so just has to go find them and work to develop them.
Yeah, I think that's a very key, valuable point, is that it's just going to take a little bit of time to start getting the interest in a program that is newer out there in Shelby, but always loaded with talent in all sorts of different sports. One lady that we know for sure can really rock and roll out there on the pitch, Arizona Grazl, one of the top scorers in the MOAC in her senior year. This is definitely a girl that in a very young roster. I mean, they're looking for her early and often.
All through kind of that club year, and then now 3 years of the varsity programs. She's been around, thinking foundation. And I know we had her earlier in the year against Crestview. She was our player of the game, so let's see if she can maybe repeat, maybe shock the Colts.
And speaking of those Lady Colts, one of the most dangerous teams that we have in all of North Central Ohio, and certainly one of the most challenging non-league schedules that we have in the area too, Greg. And you see the quality wins that are out there. I mean, they test themselves when they're outside of the MOAC, and they've done a really nice job this year of getting to that next level and knocking off some of these opponents that the last couple of years I think they struggled against.
That right there. Actually, Ontario, that's the B teams right now. Are technically ranked within the top 12 in the state. They've got a couple later in the year that are challenging the Rocky River. I do believe the Granville team, again, both of which are in the top 5. So year after year, Brittany does an outstanding job at center.
In our player spotlight here tonight, we are going to go with the junior Melodie Blubaugh. I think she's really emerged as an offensive scoring threat on the wing, playing with some nice competitive spirit, something that she's kind of developed over the last couple seasons.
When you look at it, it's a kind of a scoring by committee, right? You look at 3, 7, 8 goals apiece, so they do an outstanding job. Dispersion.
We'll now pause for the playing of our national anthem. Time for the Star Spangled Banner. So we have honored America. We are just about set for action here. MOAC cross-county rivalry showdown. Shelby on the road here tonight at Clear Fork. Greg, let's begin with the home team tonight. In your opinion, what decides this thing? How do the Lady Colts get a victory here at home?
Right, the longer you allow the Whippets to kind of stay in the game, build some confidence, think that they stand a chance here. Shelby's shown that they're able to maybe stay in the ball game and maybe catch a counter, and next thing you know, if you're Clear Fork, you're potentially giving yourself a game with Shelby. So got to start out quick.
And I think they can do that by working outside in. They've got a lot of speed on the perimeter, try to work it through the wing, and it just might lead to some goal opportunities, as we've seen so far this season with the Lady Colts scoring at a higher caliber than they have the last couple of years. Tough test, of course, for the Lady Whippets on the road here tonight. How do they get it done, Greg?
Clear Fork's going to come out 3, 4 girls who can score at any given time. So you got to make sure that you're organized. Keep everybody in front of you. Kind of that bend but don't break mentality here.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Pack it in, baby. Play some strong defense. If it's a low-scoring game, I think it certainly doesn't necessarily favor Shelby to win, but it gives them a much better opportunity to be within striking distance when it matters towards the end of this game. So, you just got to pack it in defensively and give yourself a fighting chance down the stretch. Starting lineups being announced out here, and got some tumbling acts going on by the Lady Colts.
Sorry, keep it interesting.
Right. Number 10, Elena Gandy.
I think until one time one of them gets hurt, and then Coach Brittany back to change up then.
It might be over with. But for right now, showcasing a little bit of the versatility and the talent out there, because you love seeing that from your athletes. If you're able to do a quality cartwheel or a round off, that probably means that you're just a stud all the way around as an athlete, Greg.
Yep. Yeah, just I'm used to seeing the Colts doing a heel click. Maybe they can keep it at that.
Midfielder, junior, number 3, Melodie Blubaugh. Number 4, midfielder captain, senior Annika Labaki.
Annika Labaki, what a season she's been having so far. Double-digit assists already. Really has been leading the charge for this team.
It's going to be, hey, I'm going to put the ball in the back and be able to take somebody on with pace, but just does her job.
Number 19,
Goes and is, and again, that kind of, as you would say, the stir, straw that stirs the drink, right? Everything kind of runs through.
Number 21, defender, senior.
I wonder how much they get an opportunity to work at these cartwheels at practice. There's only been a couple that have been a little bit sketch, Greg, for the most part. I mean, LCP, these girls, it looks like they've been competing and tumbling their whole lives. 15 of them tonight. Have you ever seen this many ball girls at one match?
We love to be able to do it on as well, get the youth involved. This is probably for some of them. They look up to this probably weeks in advance. Being able to kind of
Hey, at least a couple of these girls, they're going for it. Might have lost a couple of headbands there, but getting after it.
They may practice this as well.
Addison Colt. Riley
Maybe
Miller.
that's a challenge one of these times for yourself and big Travis Berardi. See what your cartwheels look like.
Oh, boy. Yeah, if we get the OH Report crew out here, definitely, I think a lot of tummy rumbling laughs from our audience. I don't know that there's a whole lot of skill set for us in that department, Greg.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we'll give it a whirl if we ever get invited down there for some pregame action. And this will wrap up our pregame coverage presented by Spherion Mid Ohio. If you're looking for work or a career change in the area, visit midohiojobs.net. They got them all. Lady Whippets here on the road tonight, looking for their 6th victory of the campaign. Clear Fork only lost twice to some very good competition. A team that you know very well, of course, Greg. I mean, you've been going head-to-head with these Lady Colts for a long time, and it's definitely one of the best programs in a multi-county radius in terms of the talent they turn out and just the consistency of the level of play that they bring every single season.
The success we've had at Ontario, and there's a way you can't go and say hand in hand what Brittany's done for the same amount of time. I think she's been similar to Coach Larry of almost 18 years, and yeah, year after year, for the longest time it was Clear Fork, Ontario in that district final. So there's nothing any different down here in Colt country of what we've done long period of time.
In preseason, I think that was the anticipated matchup yet again to kind of rekindle that flame in the district championship, but a long way to go and a lot of talent. We were talking ahead of the match just about that Division II district with the tournament draw coming up here very soon in a couple of weeks. It's going to be very interesting to see how that shakes out and who ends up getting the top 2, maybe 3 seeds.
Yeah. Should come through. Say Madison, Lexington, that'll now allow your, top 4 will have then played each other. And, right now you've got a lot of Clear Forks beat Madison, Madison's beat Ontario. Right now, if you're a Lexington Minutemen, you've kind of gotten beat by everybody necessarily, but what better way than to come out on Thursday and surprise some people maybe, or in their book, go and achieve what they all. Taking a penny out to the goal here. She's got the same color jersey on as Colts.
So as we get a wardrobe change here, awaiting opening kickoff inside of the Colt Corral. Nice fall evening out here. It's a little bit crisp, but you can tell now that fall is officially on the calendar. It's starting to set in. Some of the trees starting to change here on the horizon. It's about tournament time. I think once you start seeing that on the trees, that's when it starts really becoming known that, yeah, it's about time for playoffs. As we are underway with the opening kick.
Shelby in there. They're all white uniforms working from right to left screen here. You're going to have Clear Fork in the all black. working from left to right.
There's a couple of charging Colts. Just trying to make it tough on the clearing process here for the Lady Whippets. And Kendall Windsor with a giveaway there. Colts, though, able to get it right back with Lubaki distributing. Now here's Brinley Barnett, stud sophomore. Has really stepped up her game since joining the varsity ranks and starter for a lot of last year as well as a true freshman. Now Kendall with the left foot. Caromed up off of a Lady Whippet and into the hands of their keeper.
You kind of can see Shelby starting out right now with what you would call probably a 4-5-1 with the Arizona Grazl, the only lone attacking player. Throwing 9 behind the ball here. More numbers forward on the other side of things here, though.
Lady Colts keeping it in the attacking third. Though here's a giveaway with Charlie Neese trying to chase it down. And Shelby kind of following what we anticipated they would want to do, packing it in here defensively. 8 girls in white jerseys all hanging out inside the 18, but it doesn't matter. Melodie Blubaugh, our player spotlight tonight, comes up with the first goal. Less than 2 minutes here into the match.
What I was about to say, it seemed like Clear Fork was trying to maybe force things a little bit, to find a way maybe to pull Shelby out, and a great ball there by Annika and a great finish.
So a quick start here for the Colts. Something Mr. Atkinson thought could go a long way for them here tonight. And they do strike it rich less than a couple minutes here into the competition.
One that's a little unique. So as you kind of talked heading into tournament time here, they released this week some new rules across high school soccer. So starting, they're going to give a little pilot in tournament time here. So anytime you are up 8 goals or more, once you reach that 8-goal mark, any point after halftime, the game is over.
Oh, wow.
So depending on it, if you're a coach, you either go get that 8 goals by halftime, game is over, or you're able to kind of work some individuals in and prolong that game. But something they're going to pilot Ohio High School is starting come tournament time here this fall.
I think that's an interesting one to completely stop the game. In football, of course, with the running clock, I like it because it still gives you an opportunity to get in some of your younger players. It's just a much more shortened, condensed version of the action. Whereas if you just completely call it, not getting those varsity looks at the end of the game. So I'll be curious to hear some input from some coaches to see what they think about it.
Yeah, I think kind of compare it to probably baseball and your run rule, right? Once you get past that point and you have it something along those lines. So yeah, I think there's some mixed bags. You know, a lot of folks maybe that saves on some time and wear on bodies of some of your players, whereas some others, you know, especially in our conference, let's be candid, us in Clear Fork, you go through and you have a lot of games that are probably exceeding that 8-goal mark. So if you reach that by halftime and a lot of these games, then you maybe have lost a total of 3 games worth of minutes. So yes, it's very, very interesting. And we'll see if, depending on how that goes, whether they implement that into the regular season as well.
Going to get our first look at a set piece here for LCP. Off the corner kick. Ball still loose in the box. Colts with a couple of tries at it, but they can't capitalize and put it home.
It's Martison. What would you? What's that?
I think we're going to go with Martison.
Okay. Yourself a little no man's land there, and was able to recover by punching the ball out there and recovering pretty well, all things considered.
Nice looking pass by Lubaki into traffic. Blakely comes back towards net. Now here's Annika. Does a nice job of using her body to shield off some defenders.
Yeah, I think you bring it out. If you look for that, yeah, big switch now. Good turn. Good.
Oh, wow. Just off of the bar there for Ashton Wine. I mean, you can't get much closer than that. See, look at this turn by Ashton. Goes through a double team. The defender's a little bit late getting there, and oh my gosh.
It's like the home field bounce, right?
So a tough break there for Ashton as the lead remains 1-0 here in favor of the Lady Colts. Just about 6 minutes here into the action.
Shelby, let's see if you're able to potentially get a little counter, get numbers forward at the same point for if you're Clear Fork. Now this kind of draws them out of that.
Blakely with a long charge, but McKenzie comes out to scoop it up. Ends the threat. Lady Whippets, don't think they have had a touch yet in enemy territory. So we'll see if they can try to flip the script here. Off the bounce, it's going to be taken, though, by the Lady Colts.
Talked to Coach Keith Swisher. I know when we had him earlier in the year against Crestview, he had a lot of injuries. It looked like one of his better players, Reese Friend, looks like she's still out. I think he ended up finding out she has a torn ACL. I think she's had surgery now, so she is done for the year. Last time I talked, he had 3 or 4 injuries. I was hoping to get a couple girls back by the end of the year. So
here's Blakely backtracking. And now that one ripped, but off of the defense. Right back, though, to Lubaki, who's able to split the gap. She unloads one. And another save here by McKenzie. Second look on our Carothers Pest Control instant replay. Annika just showing some patience and a little bit flat-footed right there for the Shelby defense, allowing her just to blow by like a kite in the wind. A little too easy. Going to get a 4-pack of subs coming in here for the Lady Colts.
coming in. So Lamb. Jaden Kaler. Colt Whippets in as well.
Low line driver in near post. And I think we're going to do it all over again.
What Brittany likes to do, right? Using the subs here, especially early on, keeping the bodies fresh. 3 in a row here.
So much fun the first 2 times. Dial it up for a third opportunity here for Lubaki.
Just want to make sure you keep it safe. She touches it again.
So this will be a goal kick. But 3 straight attempts here off the corner for Lubaki. And basically the same strategy each time. It appeared that they were trying to get it there at that front post and never really got a clean look on it.
I think here's the key, right? Shelby gave up that goal early on. We're almost 10 minutes in. Haven't given up that second. How long can they withstand this? Can they keep themselves in the game here?
Lubaki looking to cook from the middle. Now Blakely trying to set it up to the outside lamp on the charge. McKenzie dives down and able to come up with another stop.
Great ball movement, right? We always try to tell a forward, hey, don't make that north and south kind of run coming across the field, east-west, as we call it, grain of the field, whatever your verbiage wants to be. A couple great runs by Clear Fork early on.
Big physical challenge right there by Sophia Perry. Having a phenomenal senior season there on that back line. Now charging into the picture, here comes Zoe Lamp. Didn't have a whole lot of pace behind that one, but again, keeping the goalkeeper honest. As Martinson, I mean, she's got to be getting up 5-6 saves already.
Yeah, she's already at 6. Got that from the post on the 1, technically.
Yeah, that was a joint venture on that save.
Yep.
Lady Whippets wisely allow this one to roll over the touchline.
The 16 there. Harvard.
Whippets having trouble trying to clear it out of harm's way. And the Colts continue their heavy rotations, as we've known Brittany Bechtel to do over the last several seasons.
Ball back into the game. Jada Lamp back into the game. Alexis Rodriguez. Just want to continue to see if Shelby here with just playing the ball out of bounds, playing the ball up top. Can they connect a couple passes?
Big running toss. And it's going to be headed out of there momentarily. But it just seems like the extra effort right now, the pep is in the Colts' step. A little bit quicker to the ball all the way around.
I think if you're Keith Swisher, you're probably wanting to see your team maybe get a little more physical, not necessarily back down. Go into that tackle just as Clear Fork is. Able to withstand it.
Windsor lays it back. Now the Colts shifting it around, finding feet. Almost an interception. But Shelby can't keep it in bounds there with Nice chasing it out. As Clear Fork quickly gets it back in here with Caudill lobbing it down into the corner. And it'll go out of bounds for a goal kick. So about 13 minutes gone by here. Lady Colts and Shelby tied in the MOAC standings. Well, Shelby's a half game up. They've played an extra match so far.
So this is considered upset within the MOAC then, based on the rank standing?
Well, I think if you asked Shelby and their coaching staff and their players, they would certainly think so. This has been a dominant program here in Bellville for many years, as we've already talked about, and Shelby just still trying to piece together a program. Haven't had a class come all the way through just yet. Now in their 3rd season of varsity action. So I think now that we have sports gambling in Ohio, Greg, I think that Shelby would be a pretty big underdog coming into this one. Probably about a 4-1 dog in this one.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it, that's right. That's right. Right now, Goliath definitely having the run of play, as I think just about every touch has been placed on this side of the field. And Shelby hanging tough, though, still down by just 1. So that's the beauty of the beautiful game, is that if they can pack it in, keep playing strong defense, all it takes is one big smooth counterattack. Get yourself right into this game. We just haven't been able to see them pop one deep yet and have somebody run underneath it.
I think they're close games here recently. One loss to Mount Vernon recently was all. So they definitely keep themselves in the game, kind of buy their chances, and hopefully someone like an Arizona Grazl is able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Arizona's been hanging around midfield, kind of a solo act up top right now for Shelby, and hasn't been able to get a touch, as we'll get a quick whistle and a foul here. It's going to go against the Lady Whippets. That was Lynn Montgomery with the bump. As that is a laser.
Cliff hadn't done yet. They were out on the ball around. Necessarily weren't settling for potentially an outside shot that doesn't maybe have the highest of percentage, but
Montgomery kind of mismeasured that one, trying to get it up top to Arizona. And this will roll out of bounds. Another goal kick on the way.
15 active wide.
Just all part of the recipe for Coach Bechtel and her club. Who he talks about just kind of the meat grinder of the schedule that's coming up for Clear Fork. For your Ontario Later Warriors, you might have saw the best team in the entire state last night in D1 Medina, ranked number 1. What did they all bring to the equation?
Team like that, you got a team here by Kendall Windsor. So yeah, they definitely now 10-0. I think we were just the 4th team that's even scored on them all year. But yeah, I definitely would be curious. Some of those, I think they had 10 seniors. I think I'd be curious that potentially all 10 of those are probably going and playing Division I or Division II soccer somewhere, one point or the other. Sides there.
Oh, that's Blubaugh who's whistled for it, and you see, just did make her run a shade early, about a step offside. Well done by Kelsey Snyder coming up and forcing that offsides. But there's probably a lot of value in going on the road and playing a team like that. What you can expect once you get into tournament, playing some of the you know what you're going to get at the district level. Yep. And if you can break through and get beyond that, I mean, we saw last year what was waiting at the Division II was Copley, who was just an absolute juggernaut. So games like that, Greg, at least they prepare you for situations in that moment.
That's what different than what Clear Fork is, what Madison is, what Lexington is. You know, you go add those at least 2 or 3 games to your schedule with the expectation of, hey, you're going to see a team like that in a potentially a regional final, in a state semifinal, if you are, fortunate enough to advance there, and want to make sure you're prepared and able to kind of handle that situation. But yeah, I know Clear Fork's got some coming up with the Division I Delaware Hayes. They have a Rocky River that I think currently is maybe sitting second in the state in Division II, and then they also have Granville, who Madison recently tied, but again, another 5 team that is year after year battling for at least a regional semifinal, if not regional final. So,
what a performance so far here in the early going by Mackenzie Martinson, who keeping a clean sheet after that goal coming in the first couple of minutes by Mel Blubaugh. There's been a lot of heavy heat coming at her, and she's handled it very well.
Clear Fork coaching staff there, you probably want, hey, let's put a little bit more on it at times. Let's get a little more higher percentage of a shot. Don't necessarily settle. Early on there, they had a couple balls that they were able to sneak in behind and haven't been able to find that again here over the last, say, 10, 12 minutes. So the possession maybe from Shelby here.
Well done just to keep it in bounds there by Natalie Kennard, but ripped away here by Ashton Wine. And they do load it up. It was a little bit behind Blubaugh. Sends one again, and this one ripped just left of net. Second look in our Carothers pest control replay. If you got a pest, call the best at Carothers.
We're going to go a little bit deeper. One deep. They're going to go a total of 3 that have subbed in here now.
The goal kick, Clear Fork again. Looks like they're going to win possession. They do, and they get it to the feet of their senior signal caller, if you will, Miss Annika Labaki. Here she is dictating traffic. Sends that one, trying to find Windsor. And close, decent buildup, but that last pass, we've seen Clear Fork complete it quite a few times here, but not that time.
I think it's tough right now when you on turf, right? That ball just continues to roll a little bit further than maybe you'd like compared to grass. Not as if Clear Fork's unfamiliar with playing on this type of surface, but you can just tell there that extra little couple feet Windsor potentially gets to it and is able to.
And Shelby, too, with that brand new, beautiful facility, also has turf. And I think you could argue that might be the nicest football soccer combo stadium we got in the area, Greg. I mean, this one's up there. We've got some really nice ones, but I really love what Shelby's done.
Yeah, I think it's one of those to where anytime you get something new, shiny, right, that usually draws you to say, hey, that is by far the best and the nicest. But yeah, they've done an outstanding job over there. And again, investing in their student athletes across the board, similar to, as you guys say, as we come here to Clear Fork and look out at the baseball and the softball fields and the work they're doing there. It's just exciting to see for just, again, Richland County in general, when you think about what all we can pull and host potentially in the future.
Yes, sir, especially with that new YMCA.
Stuff like that. I think the school tournaments is coming, and team from Cleveland or Columbus or even over in the Findlay area, and need to find a happy median. What better place than in Richland County with all the options that you have, as long as a school is willing to host.
Yeah, well put. And I met with Tim Street of the OHSAA this summer, and he said the numbers are really down in terms of host sites wanting to get involved. So, from a media perspective, I had several questions about that, and he's like, well, we can't force them to host the games. I know there's a lot of great venues, but numbers really down, I guess, in that regard. Oh, great looking ball for a charging Windsor left foot, but McKenzie's there again. Solid buildup yet again from the Lady Colts. Just not able to stick any in the back of the net for the last 20 minutes plus. So the Lady Whippets hanging around here, still trailing 1-0.
Their key to the game, packing it in, being organized. They've done just that. Another example of theirs, getting yourself between the ball and the net.
Charging through, here's Brinley Barnett. Diving save by McKenzie. And the Whippets are going to come away unscathed again. Gotta show you that one. Look at the give and go in traffic. Shelby, they still look a little bit slow to me, just a step slow. Clear Fork kind of just tearing through the defense, but getting bailed out by some phenomenal play in between the pipes so far.
I think it's stuff there where you see she's able to hit that shot. Ashton Wines potentially a little bit further back than she would normally be, just because of, again, Shelby forcing them to be a little further from the goal than they're accustomed to being. So, great.
And this time they will capitalize. Zoe Lamp coming through with her 8th goal on the season. Back it up a little bit here on the replay. We can't just show you the celebration. Phenomenal soccer being played right now by the Lady Colts. Let's do show you this from kind of start to finish off of the throw-in. It's Labaki forcing a couple of defenders to be a step out of position. And then just the excellent setup for Lamp. And Zoe in her sophomore season coming through with yet another big goal. Ashton Wine basically charging from midfield on with that one. Watch this all the way from back at the Colt logo. Just shredding through the defense from the horseshoe. Another touch. I mean, that's just great speed.
Defenses by Shelby, forcing them out wide, forcing that shot to where, even if it was on frame, that was going to be a very challenging angle from that point. So kudos to the Shelby defense there of forcing her out wide. But Like now you can start to see Shelby maybe putting up a little bit more, pushing the numbers a little bit more forward. So let's see if then Clear Fork can catch him off guard a little bit here.
Whippets back line step up that time. And still playing with about 8 girls here defensively. As that's just poked away from a charging wine by Studer stepping up to make that one. Have not been able to cap one off with a score as of yet.
We have how many ball girls you say? 15 ball girls. I think
10 official.
All conjugated down to this half of the field.
Well, they know where they're making a living here tonight, at least so far in this half. As Labaki can't shoot that one into the field of play, but she did pick up her, like 15th assist, 14th assist earlier tonight.
Yeah, but 14th and 15th.
Now there's Wine, drives it in low. And Martinson able to dive on top of this one.
Be curious on the MOAC. I would think Mackenzie's got to be up there, if not at the top.
Yeah, I'll take a look. See what we're looking at in terms of numbers within the league.
Switcher. Fire and team a little bit there until I'm getting forward.
Well, according to the MOAC website, she came in twice as many saves as the second best in the league, which is also participating in tonight's game. Renee Anders, though, has not had to touch a ball yet. Though Shelby, this is the longest they've been in enemy territory so far, and we're 26 minutes in. But Shelby losing control, and Lady Colts looking to stampede. Nice job stepping up and ending that threat, though, that time by Shelby. And another mass substitution for Coach Bechtel. 4 fresh bodies back into the mix here for LCP.
If anybody hasn't been. It's 4 and 4 in each time. Side of the goalkeeper, Renee in the back.
One of the few mainstays for Clear Fork that I've noticed, typically Perry will log a few extra minutes than anybody else out there. Haven't noticed if she has come off yet, but definitely offensively in those midfielders, there's a lot of swaps going on. Windsor got a little piece of that. McKenzie does just fumble it, but falls on top of the rock again.
Just keeping it interesting for us. 12 minutes to go here.
Do you want to say hello to everybody out there watching live and free on both Facebook and YouTube? And drop me and Greg some comments tonight. Always love knowing where you are watching from. Kind of what your rooting interest is. And Renee Anders will get a play on the ball here. But I think that that's the type of offensive attack that Shelby probably does need to initiate. Play some big ball, see if Arizona can't run after something and just make a play, being a phenomenal athlete, like we've seen Clear Fork do on a few occasions tonight. Just outspeed them.
By that's Charlie Neese. Little assist of
Sophie Neese. That's right, yeah. Just won a natty as a true freshman on the basketball hardwood. What a program they got going on.
Been a handball. As we'd say, just a little chicken. So they say now it's not necessarily handball if you keep your arms in close to your body.
And that's a new rule this season, correct?
Sometimes even if that ball kind of came up and touched your arm even while it was in close to the body, they would still call handball. And so they've gotten a little more lax in terms of that. making sure as long as you didn't make an effort to go and put a play on the ball with your arm. So see the corner kick here.
Little ping pong action going on here. Clink, 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 clink. And then off the back line there of the Lady Whippets. So we will indeed have another corner kick on the way. Clear Fork, though, hasn't sent anybody out. They got 30 ball girls here in the house, and
That's young, probably where you need to have numbers.
I think
I see the dance contest. Understand
the game within the game.
Multiple snack breaks and potty breaks and any and all the above.
Well, snack breaks, I feel like, should be mandatory for people of all age, all the time.
That's what they're looking for. Between the tunnel and the snack at the end of the game. That is how you keep soccer fun at that age. So whatever works.
I can attest with an 8-year-old who's playing, and how was the match today? We got brownies. That's what I hear about it. So that's what they look forward to, I think, the most.
You can't say just 8-year-olds. We still got high school girls. You get a shutout. We go to the Warrior, get some ice cream.
Oh, nice. And is that on Coach Greg?
Yeah, that's on me. That's what it takes. Then game on.
What's the go-to for you to break the diet plan out there at the Warrior? What do you like?
You gotta go for the
Yeah, I think DQ has the right to that word blizzard, so
Yes.
they probably got to sneak in the flurry there. But yeah, anything Reese's and vanilla ice cream. I mean, that's the winning combo for generations.
It's their seasonal blizzards they toss out at you right now. They got the pumpkin.
Sir.
But DQ, it's probably a mile from my house. It's pretty dangerous.
And right around the block from me, too.
Yep.
And I think fittingly, right next to the hospital, where it should be in Mansfield.
Put a Planet Fitness or something in there. It's just a full life.
I love it. You got to dibble-dabble in all the finer things in life. Another quartet of Lady Colts charging on here.
Let's see. What's the score of the JV game before this? Did it say 6-0?
Yeah, Lady Colts definitely had the run of play in that one.
Okay.
They look solid. Got after it early. So a fine win for the junior varsity here.
It's another thing. Same thing. Clifford does an outstanding job. Their junior varsity teams are fare well year in, year out. But, again, there's no longer really that rebuild conversation that comes into play down here as well. It's always that reload after years.
I believe Lady Warriors in a good place too. Undefeated at JV this season.
Dinah last night varsity wise, but the JV we played their JVB, so we don't want to go and act like it was their JVA necessarily, which is probably better than some varsity programs you'll see around the state. But yeah, big 3-0 win.
Nice.
Takes them to the front of the year. Should a little further out deep than we've seen up to this point.
And for Clear Fork, they've really opened things up in terms of their shots here tonight. I mean, they're pulling up from distance. We've seen them be very crafty within the fabric of the defense and just kind of working it in and out there here tonight. So this has been a fun offensive output to see here from the Lady Colts. Look like they're having a lot of fun and putting another one on the board here with Windsor cashing in. Let's see. Annika Labaki yet again. We'll back that one up for you. Show you the whole play. Check this thing out right off of the goal kick. Colts have just been a step quicker to the ball all night. We've seen them win just about every 50-50 ball. And then Annika, I mean, she's just been cooking with the salt. A little bit of sriracha pinched in right here. Left foot, one-timer, thing of beauty for LCP.
Footed. Many individuals are, and able to kind of put that away one time. Great ball into the corner.
Which is one of the most fascinating things on planet Earth about human beings to me. Why aren't there more lefties? I don't get it. I don't understand. And I think it's one of the wonders of the world, Greg. No one's been able to give me a pure answer on that one.
Somebody was left-handed or left-footed, and their parent told them, "Hey, no, there's more righties that are successful in this world, so we're gonna switch you to be right-handed, right-footed." So I don't know the answer to that. I guess it makes you though to where you're what do they call it? Dyslexic.
Ambidextrous.
Okay.
Well,
There's a
dyslexic is what
fancy-
I am, where we
Okay.
just we kind of connect our words a little bit weird.
Okay, it was a fancy word.
Can't tie our shoes very
okay.
well.
Right.
Yeah. I have a left-handed daughter who does everything else though right-handed. That's very fascinating to me. Most left-handed people I know, they can use both hands dominantly.
Okay.
So it's definitely a gift.
I can right with my left hand, but I can kick a soccer ball with my left just almost as good as my right. When I played baseball growing up through, I was kind of a switch hitter, if you want to say. So deflection again.
And another shot by the Lady Colts.
Just the last five here. Say the first five of a half, the last five. See if they can finish strong there. You'd have to be happy heading into the half. Only down 3-0. I would say possession is maybe sitting right now at 80-20, 90-10, maybe even if you really wanted to, you'd almost have to maybe it's 80% clear fork and 10% the ball kind of bouncing around in between teams. But
yeah, they've certainly been dominant here in this opening half and easily could have 5-6 goals here. So you do have to credit the Lady Whippets for hanging tough, making it challenging on some of these shot attempts. As you see, they got 6 girls back there making a human wall, as Wine almost was able to kind of dance her way through traffic. We've seen a lot of just great individual skill tonight. As here's Wine again, left foot, back post, nothing but net.
fortunate deflection, I think we'll see here. Shelby defender.
Yeah, no question about it. And Ashton able to put away with that left foot. So the Lady Colts starting to find their offensive groove here towards the end of this opening half. Well, I guess they've kind of been in the groove the whole time. It's just starting to find a little bit more success in terms of lighting up the scoreboard.
Close to 14 shots on net in total for the Colts. 17 of those. Shots just general. 14 of those then are frame. 4 of them in the back of the net.
Lady Whippets on the flip side have not yet been able to test Renee Anders at the other end. And you see Grazl, who is our player spotlight tonight. She's been doing a lot of standing, waiting patiently, wanting to get an opportunity at a big ball that she can try to, sink her teeth into and go after. And they're just not coming as the Colts keeping it on. Lubaki with a rare shot. She's usually the magic maker. There she is, making a great turn and setup, and this time she just made her own run. Colts definitely playing with a high level of confidence in this one. Therefore, definitely trending in the right direction. I think they're going for a 5th straight win here tonight if they are victorious. And we will talk in the second half about their upcoming schedule a little bit more because, boy, what a resume builder they could really have. And certainly they're going to see some top flight competition just ahead of going into tournament action. As Barnett didn't get a huge piece of that one, and it's scooped up there by McKenzie yet again. Very active so far in these first 38 minutes as we're sub 2 to go here in the opening half. I'm Brian. Greg Atkinson of Ontario is here with me tonight. And getting a look at one of your upcoming opponents. I believe Shelby's coming up pretty soon for Lady Warriors, yeah?
I think it's tomorrow, and then I think Shelby is the following Wednesday. So here's that counter.
And the first shot of the night taken by the Whippets. Let's check out this build-up. Takes kind of a funky bounce, and that's what you need if you're Arizona. Just go attack, get after it. Perry did a nice job coming out and defending, making it a tough shot, but still unleashing one. And we'll see if that sparks him a little bit here in these last 65 seconds and try to get back active again, pushing things the other way.
Yeah, I think that's a tricky one, right? If she puts that on frame, you potentially catch Renee Anders maybe sleeping a little bit. She's been back there with no real action, and get something like that breaks through. Maybe you're a little too far out, and the ball goes over the top of the head. So
this is about the most numbers we've seen Shelby start pushing forward yet tonight, 5 of them, but it does result in a turnover. And Lady Colts now with about 30 seconds to go, looking to add one on as they push it out to Blubaugh. McKenzie was a bit out of position, too. Not 100% sure what she was looking at.
As much space as she had compared to what it has been for the first 39 minutes of the game here.
That one just out of the reach of Blubaugh. Had she been able to get a piece of it on the one-timer, basically a wide open net. As the final seconds sift away, and we are at the half here at the Colt Corral with Clear Fork in command right now on top 4-0. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will have your first half stats, set you up for half number 2, and, well, maybe some trivia question for you guys, and certainly we'll dive into the comment section with you, the fans. Keep it here. It's live and free and only on the OH Report.
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa! Grandpa? I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Tonight's live stream brought to you guys live and free thanks to our generous sponsors. Mechanics Bank, that's better. Carothers Pest Control, if you got a pest, call the best, 419-314-3214. Spherion Mid Ohio, where they've got all the best jobs and opportunities in North Central Ohio. Check them out at midohio.jobs.net. MWD Logistics, if you need to store something or move around some product in North Central Ohio and certainly beyond, they got locations all over the place. Holler at my guy Chris Laux at MWD Logistics. Also by Frito Lay, driven and inspired by one purpose, food that matters for life's moments. We'll be right back with your halftime stats and analysis here from the Lady Colt Corral. It's halftime here at the Colt Corral, and a lot of smiles on the young ladies' faces in the black uniforms tonight as they lead Shelby 4-0 here at the half. I'm Brian Skowronski. Greg Atkinson is with me here tonight, and pretty impressive performance, I think, from Lady Colts through 40 minutes of action. Just 4 goals for them. It definitely felt like they could have had a lot more, but I think just good fluidity, nice creativity offensively.
Yeah, the chances were obviously there. They were moving the ball around well early on, just weren't able to put any in the back of the net that unlocked there that last 10 minutes of the half. So see if they're able to kind of carry that momentum into the start of this next half. I'm sure that was the conversation here at halftime is let's start putting a little more in the back of the net instead of just maybe saying, hey, I got a shot on goal. Yeah.
This is the Spherion Mid Ohio halftime report, and we will check in on your stats so far through 40 minutes of action, and certainly slanted heavily in one direction. Clear Fork having the run of play, almost 20 shots in that first half. But like you said, I think they'll be anticipating some more quality looks here in the second half, waiting maybe an extra pass or two, trying to set up an empty netter or just a higher percentage shot than what we saw in the first half. But definitely a lot of good looks, though, for Clear Fork. I don't want to downplay that.
Yeah. I think you have to continue to make sure as they were doing there late, you got to draw Shelby out, get him out of that kind of bunker shell, if you want to call it. And then continue to find that slotted ball back in behind as they did on a couple of these to where then they're able to put away a close, easy shot as well as, potentially we haven't seen a lot of shots from deep. If there is a quality good look, do you potentially get a good shot there, test out Mackenzie in goal for Shelby and see if she's able to kind of make some of those saves from deep.
Diving into our chat section, not a lot going on, people, but I see Nina's out there cheering on her Lady Colts tonight. Thank you for chiming in, Nina. And if you want to be a part of tonight's game, please do drop us a comment on our Facebook stream and then our main YouTube channel tonight. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, and we will make you a part of the game on our fan zone. Yeah, second half action is about ready to begin here in Bellville. Nice crisp night in the valley as fall certainly starting to sink in here in north central Ohio. And the Lady Colts are going to have the first touch as Kendall Windsor awaiting that opportunity in her hot pink cleats tonight. See a few Lady Colts actually with some very bright footwear. See some bright orange, some bright pink all across the pitch.
Just trying to run over quick because I don't necessarily think we gave any shout outs to the ref. So we've got Dale Anderson on the near side here, closest to the Clear Fork bench and the faithful.
Shout out Dale.
So an individual that maybe isn't from the area. That's right. I didn't recognize him. So as always, if you'd love to give back to your student athletes, whether it's football, whether it's soccer, whether it's volleyball, basketball, any and all the above, we need more and more referees in the area, especially at the high school level here.
Oh, wow. What a build. Even better save by Mackenzie. Barnett can't believe it. It's going to end up in a corner, though. She couldn't hang on to it, but check out this. We're talking just a couple of seconds. The first touches of the second half leads to Barnett one-on-one with the keeper, and she's drilled it right at her.
She's that slot the ball on the ground.
Off the set piece from Labaki, it's knocked out of bounds. It's a little bit of deja vu from in that first half. And she'll tee it up here for a second opportunity and play short this time. And right back to Annika. Drills it in, and not much of a shot there for Avery Wine, who was on the backside of the play. And Shelby's able to leak it out.
Right, Clear Fork. They've had how many up to this point? Instead of playing a ball directly in, play the ball short, see if it creates a little bit there.
Check it out again here on our Carothers Pest Control replay. They had two pretty clean looks at it. Certainly with Avery having the better of the two. But just so many bodies all mixed there inside of the six for the Lady Whippets made it tough. And they're able to avoid allowing an early goal here in half number 2.
Shelby tossing an extra body forward. Ashley Montgomery. Just happened to be when I take a peek and she just was taking a little longer to get back.
Barnett waits on it, now looking to make her move. As she lobs it over top.
I'm impressed. Never necessarily between Brindley Barnett, you had Ashton Wine, Windsor. That's three that it's a left foot, whether it's a shot, whether it's a cross. They've had some pace behind it.
Now here's Ashton with the right foot this time and stays after it. Look at Ashton Wine. Whoa. Not sure how Martinson was able to stop this one.
Clear Fork's kind of helping her. You've got that space to the 5 feet to her right, 5 feet to the left of her, and maybe it's because of that bright jersey they stuck on her. It's like a bull seeing red, right? You just got to play the ball straight into the keeper instead of anywhere.
Yeah, they've certainly hit the target multiple times here in the first 3 minutes of action. Now Brindley, heavy touch, able to maintain and push it out here to the middle with Jada. A lot of little intricate passes here for the Lady Colts in this match.
You can tell they're trying to find that space. You got Shelby there, tosses 4 or 5 girls there in the center. It's tough to. All physically cannot go through a body.
Well, I don't know, Greg. I've been to Vegas a few times. I've seen Chris Angel in person. I think that's debatable with some folks.
Like he says, the future and
here's Brindley Barnett with another shot attempt. Wasn't able to corral that magic and keep it down, as it'll set up a goal kick here for Shelby as it's teed up by Snyder.
For a player, for a coach, right? You want to see those. You probably talked at halftime. You just got to quality looks. You got to go finish some of these, and then you come out and early on, not necessarily playing a ball like you want, and making sure that doesn't compound to the next chance you potentially receive. And that's key as a player and a coach to make sure you're continuing to be uplifting and positive here.
Barnett this time will put it away. 5-0 Lady Colts. And is that assist number 5 by Annika Labaki? I think she's had a hand in all of these. Another gorgeous setup. And Brindley able to punch home another. Barnett with a pair of goals here in the match.
First half, 35 minutes to go in the second half, staying consistent.
9 goals on the campaign now for Barnett. Just a sophomore. Talented sophomore class here for the Lady Colts.
We talked about the senior class Clear Fork has when they got older, and now are those upperclassmen as seniors. And again, then you have a good group of a couple of them that are sophomores. So that mix of sophomores and seniors, really.
See if Annika tries to look for her own shot. Instead, she sets it up, and Blubaugh less than a minute later. Bullseye. Top shelf, you heard? Check this out. And it's another left-footed shot for the Lady Colts. They have been dynamic tonight, being playmakers with both feet. Blubaugh on the board again.
There just wasn't able to push it away enough. I think this is, the quick start that we'd kind of challenged Clear Fork with in that first half. Go and do it here early on in the second here. Start to put the game away a little bit more than what it was already.
Arizona gets a touch on it, but it'll end up in the hands here at Clear Fork near their own bench with a throw-in.
Shelby content with allowing Labaki and others to kind of receive that ball with time and space.
Barnett turns touchline, sends it back post. McKenzie knocked it away from net. And that one's rifled from deep, deep. My goodness. What a goal for Avery Wine. Check this out, Greg. One times it from the football 20-yard line. I mean, that is perfectly placed in the corner.
35th, 34th, 33rd minute here to start out the second half. 3 different goal scores.
LCP sharing the love tonight in the second half as they are going bonkers offensively. Wow.
This is the went into halftime. All right, 4 goals. We've kind of kept it within striking distance, and here's another chance by Clear Fork. Potentially about 4 goals in a matter of 4 minutes here.
Well, assistant coach John Cole came up here at halftime, and I said, it looks like you guys are playing pretty well. And he was just like, we played okay. So I'm assuming that the message probably at the half was, that's great that we got 20 shots, but let's start putting these babies away. And right now, they're on a hot streak. 3 goals already in this second half, and off the foul, they're going to get a chance to set up a set piece.
Since Timko, I think that might be her 3rd time where I thought she handed the ball finally. Falling involved. She's previously was a volleyball player.
It's tough to break the habit. Speaking of volleyball, we do have a live and free match going on tonight down in the Dog Pound in East Knox. Forget who they're playing. I think Cardington Lincoln, who's been one of the top dogs in that KMAC league for a while.
You've got a big game in boys soccer and OCC play. You've got Lexington visiting Madison over there. I know we saw it was 1-0 at halftime over there. Lexington was up. Looks like they scored with about 8 minutes to go in the half. Will Perkins with the goal.
Love Will. I wonder if he did that little side flip that he likes to do in celebration. Very exciting player, and that's a very intriguing matchup. We'll have the highlights of that one posted later tonight. Oh, great looking ball, and got a piece of it too with the head. Let's check this one out. The second time on the Carothers Pest Control Incident Replay. Solid placement. And right there off the noggin of Maya Perry, the freshman. Just wasn't able to direct it on frame. As we're not even 10 minutes gone by here in the second half. Feels like we've traveled around the universe once. There's been a lot going on here, at least if you're a Lady Colts fan. And Shelby still basically without a touch yet in enemy territory here in this second half. As the Colts have been pouring it on, and that would have been an opportunity if they had somebody up top now, but Grazl's got to come back, help out defensively. She's shifting more towards a midfielder role.
Outstanding job of getting it out wide. If they can continue then to switch the ball quick, there's individual out. Their side is there.
Another shot attempt, this one wide, though, for Addie Blakely. So some of the freshmen and younger players getting in there. And
see 15 all the way up to the top. Renee Anders going to pull her out of goal. Stick her up top, see if she can maybe score a goal.
How fun for Renee to get a chance like this.
It's always fun. I'll be honest, we're always kind of cringe and we're hesitant, allowing the keeper to kind of go have fun. They're not the most agile, coordinated individuals. They're feel like a little more injury prone at times. So last thing you want then is to allow your goalkeeper to go have some fun and then get hurt. So it's another one of those examples. You can do cartwheels, you can goalie Renee, you can come have some fun. Just don't get hurt.
Big ball tracking. McKenzie plays it out of the sky. Yeah, she nabs that one from Jaden Kaler. Sophomore out there on the field. So you guys aren't interested in putting Sarah Hendricks up top and giving her some opportunities?
We do. We've usually is the time for that. It's probably, though, when she does score, or any goalie for that matter that we've had over the years, they probably have the most cheerful celebration you might have ever seen. Remember when Sarah scored this past summer, and I borderline thought that she was hurt because she was screaming. Something that happened. She was so excited. So again, it means so much to them to be able to go out and have a little bit of fun.
Well, it's one of the few positions in all of sports where you're truly, you're kind of locked down, relegated to only a defensive role, whereas everybody else out on the pitch, you can get involved if you're the middle defenseman or any place else, get up there in the attacking third. But when you're a keeper, you're kind of restricted to your little zone and you're back there on your own little planet. So I can understand why there would be such a outpouring of emotion, getting up, getting involved in the offensive end. And I saw Broom as well for the JV at Worcester. She got to play up top and she scored a goal as well.
Yep. Yeah, you don't need them at any point ever thinking they need to maybe turn and maybe face their own goal to get that goal per se that they scored on themselves. Maybe kind of check that box. So
yeah, good to get those out in the summertime, like you said. And here does come Anders. She was pulling up from deep.
She's taking on there.
Look at Renee with I guess we'd probably call that a shot attempt. It does ricochet, though, off of a Lady Whippets, so it's throw-in time here.
Impressed with, all right, if that didn't necessarily hit a Shelby defender, that was quite the rip by Renee. The crowd is impressed. It's caught the eye of a few Colt faithful here.
Renee lays it back now for Zoe Lamb. Oh, what a move. Literally snatched some ankles right there. And Renee with the shot attempt. Had a chance there. But, ooh, look at that move right there. Came right back down to Anders. And she's got a huge leg on the punts. Put off the turf that time. Not a whole lot of mustard behind it as we've got a Lady Whippet down right now. A ball right into her chest, so it might have knocked the wind out of her.
Enough abs can prevent from that one hurting.
That's why we've got a player down. We'll take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be right back here at the Colt Corral where Clear Fork right now in control. They're up 7-0.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Back to action here in Bellville as the injured player has been carted off. She was fine, actually wanted to stay in the match, but I think per the rule, if they stop the game for you, you got to check out for at least a little bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, because they've kind of switched that up even with some of the ones where potentially contact to the head. A referee is able to evaluate and kind of make that decision on whether we bring somebody out. But yeah, the minute you go and you either have a coach or a trainer come out, then they normally then ask for you to at least go out for a quick break and then be subbed back in.
Lady Colts with a lot of younger players out on the field right now. So this is a good opportunity, I think, for Shelby to try to get some nice counterattack going. But at the same time, doesn't seem like there's a ton of drop-off right now with LCP, with the growth that they have on the field. A very gifted roster, even with these freshmen. And, wow, mass substitution, though. So
7, 8. Keep track of who was in and who was out.
I think it was all non-starters that are checking out right now. Brittany Bechtel definitely unloaded on the bench. And Anders skipping her way over to the sideline. But you're right. I think she looks a little bit exhausted after getting out in the field to play.
Maybe try to sit on the far side of the field there.
Oh, that's a no-no, huh?
To do that. Speed up the game a little bit here.
The more you know. Seems like the rules always fluctuating for basically all the sports. Always something new.
Yeah, stuff to keep track of either look at some and some that maybe want to abide by some of it, others that don't.
Big physical play out there. Maddie Miller off the charge, and then we saw Abby Snyder kind of tumble to the ground, full flip. But first touches here of the second half for the Lady Whippets in Clear Fork territory. Trying to keep some pressure on right here. But Jada Lamps able to dribble through, can't find Labaki on the other end.
I think that's all I have. First half, foul on Clear Fork. Outside of that, it's been a relatively clean, quiet game so far.
Yeah, very few fouls. We had the one handball. I think only a couple infractions with a whistle stop play.
Goal. Technically for Clear Fork now, I don't necessarily know if we gave them a shout out here. It honestly almost looks like Brittany's daughter, Asia.
They've got Faith Smith listed as the backup, but I don't know.
It does kind of look like a 25, maybe. Let's see. Bench is in the game. It's supposed to feel old. We can't necessarily see some of this stuff.
These black uniforms with the white numbers are about the best there is in the area.
Yeah. Technically, the
Blubaugh went all the way touchline.
That was out of bounds. Should have been a goal kick, but rather have it in hands, I'm sure.
Second look here as Mel, did definitely go over, but
snuck out.
Leads to a punt taken here by McKenzie. Shelby looking to get a little bit more aggressive in the midfield right now, and they definitely, they were sitting back, I think, a little too often here in this match and allowing some of these playmakers for Clear Fork just to receive the ball instead of charging in.
He's taking Arizona, giving her a little bit of a breather while tossing some numbers.
It's that ricochets off, and the second one saved by McKenzie. She was right there, right place, right time. And you hear some oohs and ahs from the bleachers here as Barnett uncorks that one. But let's go back to that previous action with Windsor. Kind of leaves Montgomery in her wake. Just missed it, but look at Renee. Johnny on the spot. Oh.
Yeah, so that was Brittany's daughter, Asia, that was in goal there. Now we potentially may have Faith Smith in the ball game. Who knows? Maybe somebody else. keeping us on our toes.
One thing we know for sure is that the goalie has not had to touch the ball yet on Clear Fork's side. So regardless of who's in there, it's been a roll with you're probably just back there doing some math equations in your head, going over some vocabulary words for a potential test coming up.
I've seen some coaches that I've seen some coaches that sometimes their consequence, right, in a game like this, if you don't go put a ball away, then all right, you get to go back and be goalie for a little bit. Think about have or haven't. I'm going to look at it.
Off the restart, just over 19 minutes remaining. Back post, Blubaugh was tracking. Leaks its way out here to Bechtel. Now Lamp into the teeth of the defense. Has it come right back at her. And she's had very few touches tonight, Greg. Every time she's gotten to it, maybe 1 foot on the ball, a couple, and very aggressive Clear Fork team has not allowed her to get comfortable at any point.
It's one, go and talk to some individuals, and if that potentially is your best player, do you stick her up top where she potentially gets minimal to no touches, or do you move her back into more of a center mid and get her involved? This is what Coach Switcher's done. 10 goals on the year. You stick her up there, and like we saw early in the game, a ball sneaks by and she's able to catch somebody off guard. She's got the speed, she's got the skill, ability to finish a ball. So that happened to us. I want to say maybe it was her freshman year, something like that. Just Shelby didn't have anything. They happened to get forward. They got a free kick, and Arizona buried it. I mean, she hit a perfectly placed ball, and Shelby got a goal in, to where it was just that was what they wanted to do. And I'm sure, scoring on a big league rival was exactly what they were looking for. So,
have not yet scored in any of their matchups against the Lady Colts. And matter of fact, it's been the exact same score. Eerily, Greg, 7-0, 7-0. And right now the count 7-0, but still some time for this thing to swing either way in terms of a change of score.
Yeah, I'd like to think there's one or two maybe still in store for us here, but
I definitely sign up for that. Big fan of offense. I like defensive battles when it's like a 1-0 game or a 2-1 game type of thing. But since we've already got 7 on the board, why not keep lighting it up?
So, as a coach, I may feel differently with those tight games. I lose a couple years off my life, a few more gray hairs on the noggin. While they're exciting for the fans, spectators, going to end up on the right side of that close game for it to. He said that it was fun after the fact.
Big charge by Ashton, drops it back now. And Bechtel thought better of her own shot attempt. Now Labaki. Almost. And Annika very seldom. Let's look for her own shot here tonight. And that one ricocheted off of one of the Whippets defenders. So it'll set up yet another goal kick, or corner kick opportunity here for LCP.
Fifth one and a half here. Mackenzie just kind of got a little unsure of what she wanted to do there with it.
Here's Ashton Wine. This is drifting. And the Whippets can't quite clear it yet. So Labaki drills one again off the post.
Start marking saves for the post. Mackenzie, it's 3 for the post.
Post is having a solid night. Definitely earning its badge of honor, as it's helped the Lady Whippets avoid a few more in the back. So that's lobbed into traffic, and Windsor able to catch a small piece of it. But it's handled easily there by Martinson. I see that we've got Christine commenting on our Facebook, and I think Arizona might be her favorite player out there. Just that's all she said. Just Arizona Grazl. Enough said. Arizona's been bottled up though tonight. Has not been able to shake loose and really show why she's one of the top scoring threats in the MOAC. Checking in at number 2 tonight. It's a nice looking one-timer, and Windsor just sailed this one. I mean, she's right at the 6.
People.
More wholesale changes again for the Lady Colts. And likely, I presume, would run with this younger lineup with Renee Anders working center mid.
At some point here, you have to kind of give some players a rest, avoid any injury here, accomplish what you want. I'll just take a peek to see who Clear Fork has next. So looks like they play next week against Highland. Got some time off until next Monday. So about six days off here in between games.
Highland, one of those MOAC teams, just not a lot of soccer prowess, so that's another one that you would expect Lady Colts to definitely get healthy in, and then after that gets a bit more challenging down the stretch.
I think so. That's on a Monday, and then next Tuesday, so a week from today, then they have Delaware Hay, so a very formidable top Division I program at their place. Test for them to finish off the year. And Delaware Hay's currently 8-2 right now on the year, so very similar opponent. They played Big Walnut earlier in the year, lost 2-0. I do believe Clear Fork played Big Walnut as well. Actually tied Big Walnut 1-1. So if you're a fan of soccer, not necessarily to pay attention to a lot of those scores. Anything's possible on any given night, it seems.
Yeah, especially in this sport where you can thoroughly outplay your opponent and still somehow, some way come out on the losing end. It happens all the time, and it seems like more often in tournament than it does in regular season.
You can kind of get yourself quickly after the fact playing that shoulda, coulda, woulda. What could have we done differently? And if we would have done this, it's fortunately you say, well, I didn't, and that is the result of what it ended up.
Colts looking to add another here as they remain on the attack.
So, quick footwork there again. See if she can give somebody else another set of ankle braces.
That was Asia Bechtel there off the cross. Did have Addie Blakely charging in, but it's handled by Mackenzie Martinson, who has had her hands full tonight. Quite literally, very often had to handle the rock. And that was one of the few opportunities that we've seen from the Lady Whippets in enemy territory. I mean, you can count them on one hand, Greg, to the amount of touches that they've had in the Clear Fork side of the ball.
Just like there, you literally got a touch. Clear Fork wins her right back and back at them.
Here's Bechtel from the corner, the freshman. Handled by Mackenzie.
Quite the jumper.
Is she? I believe her mom was quite good at that back in the day.
The national champ down here in Clear Fork on the boys' side.
Yes, sir.
Two good or something. 5, if not maybe top 3. And
wow.
Brittany as well as the jumps coach for their middle school track team, and was quite the all Ohio high jumper back when she was in high school. In addition to going to Bowling Green to play soccer. So it was a fun fact I did not know.
Another fun fact, I've seen several photos of Brittany Bechtel in high school. She literally has not aged. She's one of those, she looks almost identical. Maybe because she just has like such a thin frame. Like most of us, we fill out a little bit when we get into our 20s and certainly our 30s. And Brittany's about the same size.
Anything but age.
She looks forever young out there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if she necessitates a hair dye. Unlike some of us. Got a few coming in here in the chin region for me, Greg, but it just adds some wisdom, I think, to my look. That's what I'm going with.
Silver fox look, right?
Not quite getting there. I've got some friends that at our age that they've gone the full Doc Brown hair look. They got the Bob Barker going on. R.I.P. Miss you already, Bobby. But I don't think I'm quite getting overtaken by the Grays just yet. So we've got just 8 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this match. Lady Colts came out fast and furious in this second half. 3 goals right away after leading 4-0 at the break, and they'll put another one home here. So the freshman getting in on the action tonight. Big Sis has a pair. So the whole family, something to cheer about in this one. Maybe have a late dinner and talk about all of their awesome outputs here tonight.
Between goals here in the second half. Sure, we thought early on here what was potentially going to happen. It's going to die down.
And like you were informing me of earlier, if this was the postseason, that would have ended things. Correct. 8-goal differential, we'd be packing up and heading home.
Correct. Final, Mr. Furr giving us updates on Twitter. Final Lexington 3, Addison 0.
Statement win, I think, for Lexington. And that OCC boys championship race, Lexington needed this one. Worcester is still in the mix.
Yep. They go to, they play Worcester next Tuesday at home. Winner take all in the OCC there between them and winner clinches it outright. A tie shares it.
So the Rams out of the OCC picture now with the loss. A lot of sauce behind that one, but McKenzie able to squeeze it. It's Lily Swindoll there with her. Actually, no, that's Blakely still out there. Brinley Barnett, rather. Sorry.
Colts this week, 15th in the state poll in Division II. Believe it or not, dropped 3 spots since last week's poll after not necessarily losing. Actually have fallen below a Bexley team that they beat, a Madison team that they beat. So, look at one of those when you look at it from a state poll voter. I know we were talking it earlier. Hey, what have you done for me lately? Madison with a couple big ties, a big win. They're forking in the middle of the stretch here where I think this will be middle of second game in a row that's been a league opponent with one more to kind of come. So it's been a quiet couple weeks here to where it's not necessarily a big statement win that would catch somebody's eye. Big save by McKenzie there.
Yeah, that'll catch her eye right there. Martinson going with the full Superman. And she has hot back up as Clear Fork lets it fly yet again.
It's going to be tiring and tall task back there in a nonstop. She's at now.
Probably going on 20 saves. Got to be getting close.
Yep. For 17, in addition to those 3 that have hit the post.
Yeah, interesting that you mentioned that Clear Fork dropped in the polls when you look at their last match, a 10-0 win. Granted, against Marion Harding, but still a shutout. Lady Colts winners of 6 of their last 7. The lone loss, of course, to your Ontario Lady Warriors. Heck of a match there, too. 2-1 outcome in that one. Got it. So the good times keep on rolling here for the Lady Colts.
From deep.
Yeah, look how far away this is.
It's probably a little more off her line than what you would like her to be.
I think for Clear Fork, this match probably been a little bit more dominant than maybe they were even anticipating. Shelby, though, as mentioned, a road dog here tonight, no question about it. Been playing well coming into the match. So I'll take a look at their season so far up to this point, and just played Mount Vernon very tough. As you mentioned, they just dropped a 1-0 competition to them. Beat River Valley 4-0 the match before that, but defensively, this is a team that allows less than 2 goals per contest, so they've given themselves a shot more often than not. But tough competition with Clear Fork tonight. They've got Ontario next, and then they'll close out with Huron, who's really struggling. Should be able to beat them, but then Madison, that game over in Shelby. So 3 of
13 games at this point. This is 14, so a lot of games necessarily remaining over these last 2.5 weeks for Shelby.
Yeah, just a few, and they've saved some of the best for last, of course, with the likes of Ontario, Clear Fork, and Madison.
I think that's just unfortunate. You get to the end of the year here, and the way the conference schedule kind of shakes out when you rotate each year of where you play a team, and it just happens to fall to where the last 2 league games are going to be the 2 top teams within the conference.
Well, it's starting to get to be about that time where we'll have to name a Mechanics Bank most valuable player. So if you're watching out there in Facebook or YouTube land, drop us a line and give us your opinion. Who you think was the best of the best tonight? As Arizona Grazl, here she goes, able to turn the corner, a couple of touches, but then met by Blubaugh, who's back in a defensive role. I think if I had a vote, I kind of like Annika Labaki with 5 assists.
I think we have. Outside of Barnett, that's the only individual that's scored more than 1 goal, but Labaki with 5.
Almost dishing out another helper there as she had Windsor charging, but no shot attempt as the clock rolls down near 90 seconds to play. And another beat-down shutout for Clear Fork in this rivalry, who coming into the match and the 2 competitions against Shelby outscored them 14-0. So it'll now be 23.
Shelby boy.
This is their first throw-in that they've had in Clear Fork territory tonight. I think even catching them off guard. I mean, taking them a good 10 seconds to trot somebody up.
Covered by Jaden Kaler. I mean, it's 1v1 with an individual that scored 10 goals on the year. She gets by you, and it's 1v1 with the keeper that I think they now are on their 4th keeper that they've tossed in that probably isn't the shaking in their boots if that gets through.
Oh, Labaki almost with her 6th assist there. And that would have been a hat trick for Barnett. Now Annika trying to get a cherry on top as they'll move it around here. Sophia Perry getting involved on the offensive action, usually relegated back to that middle row in the back line.
Yeah. 9, 8,
Now Windsor coming in, icing on the cake.
Buzzer beater.
It does take us to the end of the match. What a performance by the Lady Colts here at home as they take care of Shelby 9-0. Stick around for our Spherion Mid Ohio post-game show that'll include stats and analysis and also an interview with our Mechanics Bank most valuable player. All that coming up after a short commercial timeout.
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa! Grandpa? I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
We are back with our Mechanics Bank Most Valuable Player of the Match, and we have got a record setter with us here tonight, Annika Labaki, 5 assists of the first 6 goals. It looked like you were playing very free tonight with a lot of you just knew where everybody was going to be the entire time. So just give me some insight about what it was like for you from that midfield and just like everything was clicking.
Okay, so our forwards knew to make those runs. We've been working at practice a lot, so they were creating some space, and that was fine.
It seemed like a lot of creativity offensively for you guys in both halves. Just kind of dissecting the defense, little passes here and there. Was that part of the game plan tonight, or did you just kind of fill out the process?
Well, we have a lot of big games coming up, big stretch, so we're working on that for, some tough games coming.
If you didn't know, you became the school's all-time career assist leader tonight. So knowing all the great players that have come through this program, Deja Swihart was the previous record holder. What does that mean to you to know that you're at the top of the heap now?
It's a team record too. So.
And you also tie your coach Brittany Bechtel for the most assists in one season. So what type of bragging rights or upper hand do you feel like you're going to have once you get that next one? Not too much, but at least some. Well, 9-0 you ladies win here tonight. Shelby now in their 3rd season back to the varsity action. They've been playing pretty well. They actually had a half-game lead in the MOAC standings on you girls. And they basically had like 3-4 touches in your side of the field tonight. Did you expect to be as dominant as you were in this match?
Team, like they have athletic programs like across the board. So, we weren't really sure what to expect. It's a new team every year. So, we just tried to play our game.
As we're getting closer and closer to the tournament draw, you've got a couple of MOAC matches coming up. And then after that, you really have some challenging ones at the end of the schedule. Is that something that you guys are looking forward to, getting tested yet again before you go into playoffs?
It's down to our schedule, I guess. Coach wants us to play some tough games right before the tournament to get us prepared. So,
well, congratulations. Huge win tonight. You rewrite the record books. Who do you want to shout out after this match? All right, a shout out to older bro from Annika Labaki, our Mechanics Bank MVP. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Ryan's
You can just hold it like this, guys. Thanks, Annika. Don't worry about it yet. Go ahead. We'll back the camera up. I guess we'll just.
funny one to ask Brittany. She would probably stick Annika in the back and then goal slash. How many ever games?
Can't you see that happening? Plus 19, wow. Very even. 8.
Probably just a couple, maybe.
I definitely had. Oh, hey, it was on us the whole time. Yeah.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Back here with the Spherion Mid Ohio post-game show. I'm Brian. This is Greg, and I think really an impressive performance tonight by the Lady Colts. I mean, they dominated as bad as any team that I've seen this year against any competition. I mean, they had to run a play from start to finish.
Yeah, I think they took a while to get going. So they did, especially in the second half. The efficiency of scoring started to increase. They were able to get some other players involved and finish the game probably like they wanted to. Got a little players involved. We got some rest and that shutout victory.
And speaking of getting players involved, Annika Labaki, 5 assists here tonight. She becomes the all-time assist queen in the history of the school, ties her coach for the most in a season. I mean, really impressive what she's been able to do for her career, and definitely tonight as well.
Yeah. She's I loved her response in terms of you don't get an assist without somebody scoring a goal. So when you go and you look at tonight of the 9 goals, I think you had 7 different goal scorers.
Yeah.
So she's able to, again, be able to finish the opportunities is a key to each and every assist.
Let's check out the final stats presented by Spherion Mid Ohio, and 38 shots, Greg. And we feel like we probably even missed a couple there. 22 of them on net, and then you look at the possession. They controlled the game. It might have even been more than 88%.
Yeah, 80%. And maybe another 10 to 12 that was ball bouncing around in between possession of either team. But yeah, there were few and far between that Shelby had it as they got forward. But they did have a couple there, they're late. Breakaway by Arizona. Could have gotten a little tricky for the Colts defense.
So moving forward for Clear Fork, the MOAC landscape very well. They've got a couple of very winnable matches coming up before they go into a really tough, challenging finish for them. So what are your expectations for this team heading into the postseason as one of the 15 best in Division II right now, according to the rankings?
Exactly like you would want to as a coach, right? She's created herself with 3 of her last 4 games. As we talked to Delaware Hayes team that's currently sitting at 8-2, you get a River Valley, and then your last 2 are against 2 of the top 5 teams in the state in Rocky River and Granville. So you go and you create that atmosphere exactly like what you're going to want to see in a district semifinal, playing a very challenging team most likely, playing a district final against another challenging team. So she's created that environment for them. They have 2 tough games in a week with very minimal practice time in between. So doing, again, what a veteran coach would do and creating a very challenging schedule here as you finish and head into the postseason.
And for Shelby, can't feel great about the performance here tonight, but they're going to get back into the flow of things against some more challenging competition. So they at least have another chance here before they go into the postseason to test themselves, Greg. What type of adjustments or, maybe pep talks are you expecting for them?
Keith Switzer's going to do an outstanding job of, hey, let's go prepare for the next game. It was a 4-0 game at halftime, so you got to find the win in terms of that. And a couple of chances they did as they went forward. But as we talked, it's going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day, so it's going to take a couple more years, I do believe. But again, he's got the numbers. JV had another quality match tonight, so they're heading in the right direction. Again, it's going to take some time.
Final score here at the Colt Corral, 9-0 in favor of Clear Fork as they come away big victors here at home. Got to thank everybody for coming together and making tonight's live stream possible, including our awesome staff here. Big thank you to Greg Atkinson for joining us here tonight in the booth. Always a pleasure to call the games with you. Brandon Powell as well on late notice coming out here running some camera for us. So a big thank you to both of them. And then all of our generous sponsors who come together to make the live stream possible, including Mechanics Bank, MWD Logistics, Spherion Mid Ohio, Carothers Pest Control, Frito Lay, and Clear Fork Valley Foundation. For Greg and Brandon, I am Brian Skowronski saying so long here from the Valley. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for our Week 10 edition of Coach's Corner. And then we'll have a couple of live streams on Thursday before getting into a madhouse on Friday night. 10 games on the OH Report. See you then.
Everybody trippy, yeah, we come in, get that back.